So I will be dropping 3 videos today. They're all going to be crazy. This is probably the least crazy out of all of them, but there's still an insane amount of information. Just know I will be dropping 3 videos in total today. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. If we can get 60k subs before the game even drops, I'll be doing a crazy giveaway. And yeah, just sub up. But yeah, let's get right into it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Balboabtw. Inside of this video, I do want to give you guys some information that completely went unnoticed by basically the whole community. I have no idea how nobody was talking about this, but I was doom scrolling YouTube, right? I searched Typesol. I went by most recent just to see if there was any news or anything like that that nobody really was talking about. And the stage event that was 2 days ago on July 10th had to have been the craziest thing I've ever seen that went under someone's nose, bro. I'll just play the clip.
Is Kendo really getting gutted? Let's ask the man himself. Yo, Setro booming. Is Kendo getting gutted?
Yo, I can't lie, bro.
Yo,
hey, Setro,
those who know what happened.
Setro be my man's, right? But Setro,
Can you add certain regions to join? I've
hold
had
on,
so
bro.
many problems.
Setro, when you made that one announcement where Crescent Relief no longer released posture,
oh my god,
ironically single-handedly pissed off the entire community, bro.
No, you pissed
Bro,
off Chaotic.
no.
Chaotic was mad.
Yeah, the worst part is that Chaotic wasted no fucking time and immediately got on insane.
I can't lie, bro.
Listen. Kendo needed some nerfs, bro.
It definitely did.
That
But
was
we can't
that
say
was
that
like
out loud.
that was like what I decided. Obviously, the big man himself, he wasn't happy with what I did.
Okay.
So some like I think like 4 changes got reverted. Like the rest stayed. Like I don't know. I don't think Kendo needs to change.
Okay.
If he doesn't want to change, he's not gonna change.
I gotta answer some more. How long is
You guys heard. Kendo has received a hard nerf. How has nobody talked about it? Was there nobody inside that stage, or like did nobody just hear that whole section? Because Kendo is hard nerfed, according to the devs that were in there, and Setro said that he wanted to nerf it even more, but Chaotic obviously reverted some of it to, well, Chaotic plays Kendo, so, you know, GG on that part, but, yeah. So Kendo is nerfed. Now, he did say inside that video that it is balanced now. We'll obviously have to see. But I would argue that Kendo, I mean, obviously it was one of the better things, right? But I wouldn't say that it was that much crazy. Like, I would say Kendo and Speed were basically on the same, like, category of good. If you were a good Speed player, you're probably beating the average good Kendo player. In all honesty, right? So, inside of this video, I want to talk about all the skill trees, but mainly focus on Kendo because it is nerfed. But let's just go over every single skill tree, because you guys, right, me saying the Rontars were nerfed, and I leaked the Rontar changes and all that, had the community start talking, and obviously Setro did say that all the races were nerfed, so we have no real idea if the Rontars are technically the worst inside the game right now, because we don't know the Quincy or the Soul Reaper nerfs. A lot of the testers were saying the Rontars were the worst. That's basically why I made that video. We'll have to see on re-release as far as that goes, but just know every single race has received a nerf. As far as the new clans go, Rontar by far has the worst ones. So I would still say Rontars are probably going to be the worst on re-release just because of the nerfs that they did receive. But anyways, we're talking about the skill trees inside of this video. So if we go over them one by one, the reason why this is such a big deal is because we know Hakuda has received some reworks, and you can use the air style or the ground style. So it basically has 2 of its own movesets within the skill tree, right? So Hakuda is good. We know that it's not in reworked, more than likely got some buffs from the reworked moves and things like that. We know Hakuda's good. Kendo, I'm not gonna lie, I have not heard a singular thing about this. Maybe I just haven't been in every single stage and I don't know all the information. I have not heard anything about Kendo. If you have, you guys can let me know down inside the comment section down below. I would assume that Kendo was nerfed, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. And then we move on. Medic got a full rework, completely reworked Medic. It's going to be completely different on re-release, right? And then Speed, I talked to some of the testers, and if you guys want to do your own research, if you watch this Cooling Games Tana video, I would say 95% of the players in here, including Tana himself, are all using Speed. And I talked to some of the testers, and they were saying that Speed is either like just as good as it was before the game shut down, or even better now. Which is crazy, because Speed and Kendo were already on par, but now I'm hearing that Kendo was nerfed. So this isn't even one of those situations where you can be like, oh, well, they nerfed everything, so, you know, it's fine. You know, because that's what you can technically say with the races. You could technically say, oh, they nerfed Quincy, they nerfed Arontar, and they nerfed Soul Reaper, so it's fine. You know, it's still going to be balanced. But Hakuda got reworked and possibly buffed from the reworks. Kendo, I don't know anything about, but it could have been nerfed, could have been buffed, don't know. Medic got a full rework, and speed is apparently better than it ever was before. And then Kendo is receiving a nerf. Now, I won't sit here and say that Kendo wasn't, like, God. Like, we all know Kendo was insanely strong, right? But we also can't say that Kendo was that much stronger to be the only thing that got nerfed inside this whole update, right? If you actually go seriously look at the players inside that Tana video, I'm telling you 90% of them are on speed or a variation of a speed build. Most of them were on 45 speed and 20 Kendo, because that probably will be the best build for re-release. I will be dropping a whole separate video about the best builds, but that'll probably be after the release actually comes out. But yeah, man, so Hakuda got reworked. Some of it got reworked, and either way, you can use whatever style. If you want to be air style, or if you want to be ground style, you can literally pick now. Right, so that's cool. Kendo, we don't know. Medic got a full rework, and speed is apparently better than ever, and Kendo receives a nerf. And not only that, apparently a hard nerf, because you hear Cetro say, inside that clip that I showed earlier, you literally hear him say that Chaotic reverted like 4 of the nerfs. But the rest of them will still stay, and I feel like it's balanced right now. So you're telling me that there was probably like 10 changes, and Chaotic reverted like 4 of them? And then, by the way, the other devs were reacting as well. Hey, Kendo might, I don't know. We don't, obviously, I don't see the update log in front of me. I'm not going to make any assumptions. I'm not going to say Kendo's gutted. I'm not going to say anything like that. But I am going to say that Kendo, as far as we know, from what I heard from the testers and all the information that we have been given, what they've said in stage and everything like that, and just based off context clues from, once again, Tana's video, and basically everyone's video. Everyone's using speed right now, right? Every single video that we've seen, they're all using speed. So we can only make the assumption that Kendo was nerfed that much to where speed is once again the best thing inside the game. I don't want to say it how it is, but if they're nerfing all the races, reverting our Ron cars to basically how they were in 2023, and then they're also making speed the best thing inside the game again, we might literally be living inside a type soul that is the 2023 version of the game with just more content being added. That is what it sounds like we are playing right now. More content is added, essences, ultra skills, weapons, things like that, and actual content, soul wars, clan wars, yada yada yada, right? But essentially what it seems like we are about to play when Type Soul ends up releasing is a 2023 updated version of the game. Based off the nerfs, the buffs, and just everything that I've heard recently, that's what it seems like we're going into. One thing that I do want to mention, I might make this its own separate video. A lot of people have been like, well, share your actual opinion on the nerfs, things like that. In my opinion, don't get me wrong, the nerfs are crazy. To Aron cars, probably to Kendo, to just everything. Because he just said he's doing a bunch of nerfs, and the game will feel entirely different, and it'll be a whole new game, right? The testers, balancers had nothing to do with the changes. It was all Cetro. That's what he said himself. We all remember that. And in my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. I think if the game stayed in the same state that it was, and it was just new content, like Hellverse and all that being added, and we didn't get any crazy nerfs or crazy, like, meta changes, the game would have just died again. Let's be honest. Type Soul is on its 4th re-release because they keep dropping the game and doing terrible balance changes and just making the game not feel good, and then it dies again and again and again. So to a certain point, I do agree with what Cetro is kind of trying to do here, where we're just going to see a wild meta change and a bunch of stuff will be different. At the same time, though, I completely understand the whole community's frustration, because you guys spent literally hours on top of hours on top of hours learning one build, getting really good at one build, getting good at one skill tree, getting good at one race, whatever you want to say you got good at. And then you're going to load into the game, and there's like a 90% chance that it's full gutted. Not only that, from what I've heard from a lot of the testers, is nothing is balanced inside of the game right now. we might be going into a pretty rough era of Type School. Either way, Hellverse will be out. We're all going to be playing. The only reason why I'm dropping these videos is so you guys have the information. Because, well, nobody else is going to do it, right? You guys can leave your own thoughts. Just know Kendo, as far as we know, is the only thing receiving like an actual nerf. That's the only thing that they have talked about in stage and all that has actually received a nerf. What I've heard from testers and what I've heard from the general, just basically everyone playing, the content creators, the testers, everyone like that, is that speed is basically the meta. Once again, Kendo, it's still usable, but it definitely got nerfed based off what I'm seeing and hearing from obviously the clip that I showed and just the community, like the tester community in general. Keto, I haven't heard anything about, and Medic, I haven't heard anything about. And then Hakuda, well, some moves got reworked, so I imagine it's slightly better than it was before. But yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, we don't know until the update log officially comes out and we can read every single change for ourselves. I'm just kind of giving you guys the news. Same with the Arontar video, right? Obviously, if I only know the Arontar changes, that's all I can tell you guys about. So maybe every single race is dead. I don't really know. We'll have to see. You guys can leave your own thoughts and all that inside the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.